Alright, so this is the weekly recap for week commencing the 9th of February. You might realise that was a bit of a gap on last week. That's because I didn't trade last week. But this week I did trade for week commencing the 9th of Feb. I actually took two partial losses this week. So two partial losses. I came out early on the trade, and that's simply because price action just stalled for whatever reason, even though we had NFP released and CPI this week. So without any further ado, we'll get to the charts and I'll walk you through the trade. Alright, so here we are on DXY where I'm doing all of my analysis, and reading DXY, we were currently inside this weekly fair value gap, right? So we had weekly fair value gap here. I'll just get rid of these alerts. And basically I was expecting price to push down, but I wanted extra confirmation. The reason for this was simply because of this bullish fair value gap. So we've got a bullish fair value gap here that price tapped to on Monday. I actually let Monday play out and it displaced quite heavily to the downside, reacting from this weekly fair value gap. And according to my rules of my trading strategy, that's a good confirmation for me that price actually does want to push lower. So from this was Monday's candle here. So Monday, Tuesday played out, and then Wednesday, this was after NFP. I wanted price to actually push into this daily fair value gap that was created on Monday and Tuesday, right? So this is Monday's candle, this is Tuesday. When Tuesday closed, that's when it created the daily fair value gap for me. So on Wednesday, I was looking for a setup, and because of NFP coming out, I was waiting it to manipulate inside this daily fair value gap. And also we had a 4-hour fair value gap here. As you can see, this is NFP candle. NFP does push into it, okay? And then it starts to push away. And you can see here on the 1 hour, we do get some displacement. There's a 1 hour fair value gap. And for me, looking at this, I probably entered it prematurely, but, the context of this was important. I've got a weekly bearish fair value gap. I've got a daily bearish fair value gap. I've got a 4-hour bearish fair value gap. And we started to get rejection from this NFP candle, followed by, some displacement on the 1 hour. So as you can clearly see, price does consolidate after this, but I do get in around here, and I'll show you which trade I took, which was on EU. So the trade I took on EU was actually longs. And if we just look at this as well, on EU, we're inside a weekly fair value gap here. So weekly fair value gap here, just here. So we've got a weekly fair value gap here. We've got this daily fair value gap as well, which was created due to Monday and Tuesday. And I believe that we had low of the week locked in on the Monday low, right? So if I'm bullish for the week, I want to be putting my stop loss there. And also to flip that on its head, we've also got, for me, which was high of the week on DXY, right? So I'm taking an opposite trade. So in EU, I took a buy, and it was, if I go to the 4 hour, you can see here, this is NFP candle just here, comes down, manipulates into this bullish daily fair value gap. And I look at the 1 hour, and this is where I got basically into the trade. So it was around about here. Even though we've got this, 1 hour fair value gap, I'm using the higher time frame context as narrative. And I truly believe that this was displacement. So my stop loss was here, covering low of the week, big chunky stop loss. And what I was targeting was previous weekly highs for liquidity. So for a nice, 3R. I actually think I actually got in a bit higher actually for market execution, something like that. And that was the trade idea. But as you can clearly see, price was just consolidating, right? Did not move. I gave it plenty enough time. I got in on Wednesday, and even, Thursday after CPI is released, CPI was actually in the favor of the trade. So it was good for the euro to push higher, and obviously good for DXY to push lower. But it didn't move at all. There wasn't much volume whatsoever. And even on after that, waiting, for the rest of Friday, nothing happened, right? So Wednesday after NFP didn't really move. Thursday again did not really move, and even after CPI it did not move. So I came out, made the decision. I come out about 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So just go to here, London. So London. So yeah, it was probably around about this candle here, probably about here. I came out, so I just moved my stop loss there. So I came out about there and took partial losses on 2 of my accounts, one on my funded account and also one on a challenge. So yeah, this was kind of the first losing week that I've took in a while, in months actually. I don't know what happened with price action, but for me, this was an A+ setup, just reading the order flow, a good swing position, and yeah, unfortunately, it just stalled. Now, on Monday, we might start to get a push up from this. It's still in a higher time frame POI for me, but for whatever reason, it's not moved on the week I wanted it to. So I came out. I can't hold my funded trade over the weekend anyway, and just because I've not got confidence in this, I came out of the other challenge that I have as well. So yeah, that was the recap for this week. Hopefully we get a better week. It feels like Monday, you can see Monday's candle, this candle here, this bullish one, took, that took most of the volume throughout the day. And that was no news Monday as well. There was no news whatsoever coming out on Monday. So huge volume on Monday. And then there was no volume on the days that, I expected there to be due to news. So yeah, it is what it is. The markets are unique. We've got to accept it for what it is. I protected my positions, which is the important thing, proper risk management. But yeah, this week come out with a negative. So yeah, I want to be transparent with you guys. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can see the reasons I took the trade. Yeah, we go again next week. So that's enough for me. If you have got value from this, or if you've got any questions, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and there's also a link to our Facebook group if you want to join that as well. All right, I'll see you all soon. Have a great weekend.